This book gave me nightmares. A romance book gave me nightmares. Wow. Hi, hope you're well. I just read 7 books in like 7 days and I'm exhausted. I just wanna kind of like relax and read for like a week, and what's better way to relax than read a romance book, right? So this will be a vlog filled with romance books. I'm gonna try to read at least 3, and starting with the one I think which is gonna be a favorite, I can feel it, is Happy Place by Emily Henry. So Happy Place, I do not know anything about this. I loved, reason I think I will love this book because the previous book by Emily Henry was a near perfect 5 out of 5 stars. So this will be 2, I think. It's like fake dating something. I think that's the trope. I'm not really familiar with all the romance book tropes, so cause the only romance book I have read, which are like 2 or 3, they're always like friends to lovers or enemies to lovers. So this is like lovers to enemies to lovers, I think. I don't know. So let's get started with this one. Happy Place, the main character name is Harriet. So Harriet is actually a doctor, and she has a friend group. The friend group involves Cleo, Sabrina, Pat, Vin, Kimmy. So they have like 6 friend groups, and every year, or like whenever on vacation, they go together to this place, which is Happy Place. It's not Happy Place, it's somewhere in like real life, but it's Happy Place to our main character. Harriet and Vin are actually engaged. The main premise of this plot is that they have broken up, but they haven't told any of their friends, and they have to pretend to be happy and be together while they are vacationing with their friends. So it's ultimately like enemies to friends because they hate each other, and but they have to pretend that they don't. I am enjoying that aspect of like pretending, but also like not pretending. It's a fun trope, I think. Speaking of the characters, so it's an Emily Henry book. I like Vin. Like I like the voice that the audiobook gave to like the male characters, and the main male characters in like romance books. I think it's really attractive. I also like the main character. She is like she is very anxious. That's why she tries to like meditate and tries to think of a happy place whenever something happens. This is my second Emily Henry book, so compared to the first one, the setting is a little different. There's a whole fan group now instead of just like 2 or 3 people in the book lovers. This is a new like direction to it. So I told you most of the things that I like. There are some things which are bugging me. It kind of feels like I'm an outsider like watching through this people. Unlike book lovers, I don't feel like I belong in this friend group, or like, you know, I don't feel very welcomed, unfortunately. I wish I was, but I do really like care about at least the main characters, Vin and Harriet. It's funny. I love the humor. It's very light with some not so light elements in it about divorce, and with like PTSD and stress and trauma and all this stuff. A genre mentioned in it which is cozy mysteries, which like kind of intrigued me to like check it out. So I did look a few like cozy mystery books while I was reading this book to like dip my toe into a new genre. And I did find some of them which I will give some try. Right now I'm gonna keep on reading Happy Place, and I will see you soon. Hi, so it has been a couple of days. I'm reading Happy Place. So I'm in chapter 30. I'm almost done with this book. I have like 100 chapters left, and probably will be done with this today. Coming to this chapter, I have processed some thoughts about all these characters, about what this book is trying to do, and I want to share it. Unfortunately, do not connect with any of this character, and I think maybe the problem is they feel very like extroverted, and that's not a problem, but I cannot pinpoint what it is. But for me to love a romance, I need to really like the main character. I need to really relate with the main character. I'm unfortunately not doing that, but I'm still enjoying the themes of this book. So later in the book, we get a lot of themes about belongingness with Win, and we also get a lot of themes about nurture, how like parents like f you up when you grow up, and like how like hard relationships are when you feel like you don't belong, and like self-deprecation, heavy stuff, like stuff which I like to see in my romance book, which Emily Henry always brings in the two books I've read. It doesn't feel very personal to me. I am still rooting for them, I'm still excited for them. And also the main conflict of this book, of like Harriet and Win breaking up their engagement, is just, it was fun at the start. The solution to that is happening in this book, of like them bickering, being so attracted to each other that they start making out. Like, I think that's a weird solution, and I don't really like that. When they're driving a car and like they start arguing and then they start kissing, and that's weird. I don't think that, I don't know what I want from a romance book. If I connect with a character, I don't know why I do it. If I don't know why I don't, because like there are things which like I relate to, but it's just I'm just not that emotional about any of them. I just don't care about any of them. So I'll finish soon with this book, and we'll pick out the next romance book in this romance filled reading vlog. So I am finally finished with Happy Place. Well, I finished this like 2 days ago, and I have some final thoughts. So all the things I said is true. The last like few like chapters of this book, it has some like twist with their friends, kind of improved it a little bit. Still, I do think the themes of these books are good and they're explored really well, but I'm just unable to really connect with them, especially the main character Harriet. But it's just Harriet and Win, and all the friends didn't really work for me. I do really liked Sabrina and her like whole situation at the end. That was like, I related to that. This was a good romance book. I wished it was brilliant like Book Lovers. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I will give it a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely worth a read if you like romances. On to the continuing with the romance theme of this vlog, I will read another like romance author which I read first time and really enjoyed their writing, and that was 7 Year Slip. So the next book I'm going to read by Ashley Poston, who wrote the 7 Year Slip, is The Dead Romantics. So this will be fun. I hope this will be as good as 7 Year Slip. This will probably be good because it has supernatural stuff which I like. So it all involves like some fantasy, some ghost, some horror, like mild horror stuff. And this is also about writing. So I think the main character is a ghost writer for another author, I think. So that will be fun because I love books about books. Like that meta narrative is so like fun to play out. You can nerd out about book while reading a book. So I think that's really fun. So I'm gonna get started with The Dead Romantics, and I will see you soon. Dead Romantics. I've been reading this 2 days, so I have read around 100 pages, 10 chapters in, and follows Florence. And Florence is like a book assistant to a very famous author. Florence secretly ghost writes for that famous author, and it's a secret and not a lot of people know about it. Florence has to has a deadline to finish and she's struggling with it, and because she doesn't want to write romance anymore. She likes to write romance, but because of this big breakup, she doesn't believe in romance anymore and don't want to write that final book in that contract. And if she doesn't write it, she will get sued. I don't want to spoil it because it's fun, so I didn't tell you a lot about this plot because I don't want to spoil it. So but another thing is that Florence can see ghosts. As we move along, I think it will get better and better, and so it's like basically a romance with some ghosts. What happened was that around, like, I was reading this at late at night, and there's a plot point which happens, which basically kickstarts the whole like journey of this character into like romance and stuff. And that happens, and I read it, and I then slept and had a nightmare about that similar thing happening to me, and I hated it. I hate getting nightmares, and this book gave me nightmares. A romance book gave me nightmares. Wow, it's a new thing. Like, kind of scared about like that nightmare of what happened in this book, because I really related to that part in Serena's slip, and also in this. She really likes to talk about grief and about losing someone and about stuff like that. It really like makes you, put you in the shoes of someone, because I think everybody has lost someone at some point, even if it's like someone, even if it's like friends or like some family, like real death, or like just drifting away with someone, of like just like losing someone is like, it's a very strong emotion. So, and that is what like Ashley Poston likes to talk about, and I really like love this author for that. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's very easy to read. It's funny sometimes. I like the humor. I think I'm liking the characters more than what I liked in Happy Place, so that's a win. And yeah, we'll continue with it. Hi, so I just finished The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, and from the big smile on my face, you can probably guess that I loved it. And yes, I loved it. So let's get into it of what I loved about this book. So this book for me, like, it started really good, then it kind of got like okay in the middle, but at the end it was like I was like smiling and like kicking my feet and like slamming my bed, and like it's just such a fun time. It's like a proper romance book, but it also has a lot of like talk about grief and death. So there's a lot of like cringe death puns, and I like them. This book is very corny. It's very cheesy sometimes, but it's also like really, it gets really emotional. I get teared up like 2-3 times, and I laughed out loud like 2 or 3 times in this book. And I love the variety of it in this, of everything in this. Ashley Poston is quickly becoming one of my comfort authors. Like, I really want to read, I need this kind of books, like make me happy and make me feel better, make me hope for the better future. And that's what I love about romance books. But there are some problems. So this book is called The Dead Romantics. So there's a lot of talk about death, and it kind of get annoying. I know it's like feels insensitive to say that death gets annoying and grief gets annoying, and I know like this is a very like a pretty accurate representation of what the person goes through and how it feels. But you know, I don't wanna like feel about that because I don't like it. Okay, I don't like that experience, and I don't wanna like go through it. It's very hard time, and the character goes through it, and it's a hard time for her. It kind of gets like annoying and like sad. So that was like my little problem with it. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next romance book that I want to read is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I've had this book on my TBR for like 5 years now, and I tried to read this first, but when I read it, I wasn't really like into romance, and the first page I just dropped it because it was getting already like mushy and cheesy, and like now I like understand what's it about. So I am going through it with an open mind and hoping to like it. This is like a favorite of a lot of people, and I hope I like this one too. And also the cover it's always like one of the best cover I own of any book. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that this cover is actually real. Like the artist like put down all these nails and tried to like with strings, tied it with strings and made this like beautiful art. I think it's about insta love and about like a person who believes in religion and a person who believes in science, and they both falling in love. Like my understanding of whatever this book is about. I'm gonna start reading it and I'll give you a more like proper synopsis and how I feel about this book when I've read more. Hi, so I've been reading The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and surprisingly I'm really enjoying it. It finally is clicking for me. I'm enjoying it. I was going to unhaul it without even reading it, and now I'm really enjoying it. We follow two main POVs, but there are also some other POVs. So we follow Natasha, who is a Jamaican born black girl who comes with her family to America, and she is getting deported like really soon, on that day actually. And she is trying to not get deported by like finding some lawyer and some things. And then we follow Daniel, who is a Korean like born student who really likes his poetry and is trying to find a job and become a doctor. And throughout this book we get to see both their POVs and how they both meet each other. Yeah, it's really sweet. They both like talk about love and how like Natasha believes that love isn't real, that love has a half-life, and Daniel, who is like very like hopeless romantic, and he's trying to also like think about his career, about poetry, and want to follow his dreams, where Natasha want to like just barely hold on to where she lives, and trying to become a data scientist and do what she thinks she would be good at and she would be okay at. So we have like contradicting like two main characters who are like bonding with each other with their different experiences and their different like life problems, and I'm really enjoying it. A lot of books have small chapters, but this has extremely small chapters, which like you just 1 second has happened and you are into a new chapter, and it truly keeps up your attention. And I really liked it about The Sun Is Also a Star, so I'm enjoying it. So I'll definitely not try to unhaul a book until I've read enough of it, or like if I know that I'm gonna enjoy it at some point. I'm glad I didn't unhaul this one, and I will see you when I've read more. I've read up till 100 pages. Hi, so I just finished The Sun Is Also a Star. It was a very hopeful book about love, and it just feels wrong to put it in a romance vlog, because it was more than about romance. It was about dreams, it was about ambition, and it's about whether you believe in science or love and God and religion and ethnicity, and like so many like themes which are represented here and like talked about, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked Natasha, Daniel, like chemistry. I think Daniel is a sweetheart, and like I like poets. Poets have fun. I'm not really into poetry. I want to be like the only poetry I know is the tortured poets department. I know that's pretty basic, but like, you know, I would like to go into poetry. So if you have any recommendation of like poetry to start, like based on like the type of like stuff I like from like the romance vlogs and like other types of books, so that will be cool for your recommendation. I'm glad I picked it up and I didn't unhaul this. So yeah, this was just a gem sitting here for 5 years. You know, I should give a book a second try. I will try to make another vlog kind of video to like give second try to some of the books which I may have DNF'd or like didn't continue with. So for this vlog I read these 3 books: Happy Place, The Dead Romantics, and The Sun Is Also a Star. Happy Place was 3 stars or 3.5 stars. The Dead Romantics was I think 4.5 stars, and The Sun Is Also a Star was a 4.25 stars. It was a fun time. Out of all this, I was thinking that Happy Place would be good, but it was the like least rated one, at least for me. But I'm still really excited to try the Emily Henry or other books. Thank you for watching. All these books were very fun to read, and I hope you read some of them. If I had to recommend one, read this one because it's like perfect for the vibe. Like it's like about death and it's about chilly vibes with ghosts, and it's really funny. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like, subscribe, comments, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.